Alright, so this is the entrance to the Forest State Park Campground. Alright, it's a pretty big campground. So, playground over here. The bathhouses, there's quite a few bathhouses scattered around the campground. And at the entrance over here, there's firewood available, which is a little expensive if you ask me.
$25 for a half rack, $50 for a full rack.
For a half a rack, so I don't know what that means, but anyway, yeah, that seems like a lot. Or $5 for a bundle, which a bundle doesn't do a whole lot of good. So as you can see, some have electric and some do not. Some of these are just, see, like I said, they're just grass. You just pull into the grass and pitch your tent. Pull your camper in. There's not.
You are in these magnificent trees.
Yeah, but you are in the forest here. It is a beautiful forest here, so you can't complain about that. But it's not very busy right now. I'm sure on the weekend this place is probably packed. And I chose to be in the back part of the campground because it was less crowded. And it is. It's much less crowded. You can see there's hardly anybody here back in the back sections of the campground. So, as you can see, outside an inner loop. When we got here today, the sun was blazing down on our site, and right now it's nice and shaded. So I guess I did a good job picking the site for the evening. We'll have some shade here. This is where we are. Here. Hi guys, Karen and Shannon here with Wandering Out Yonder. We are here today in Forest State Park, staying at the Forest Campground.
I think it's called the Ridge Campground.
But if you look it up online, it's just look up Forest State Park Campground and you'll find it. Anyhow, we're going to take you on a little bit of a walk, a campground tour. It's actually a pretty campground. The trees are just beautiful. There's trees all over the place here. They are, for the most part, you park kind of in the grass. They're a little bit, they once were graveled, I think, but no longer.
Yeah.
Anyhow, all right, so we're just going to take you on a little walk and show you around. All right, so
This is the loop that we're on.
We're at site 195.
All right.
And we are on the inner part of the loop here. And I chose this site because there's nobody camping back here. This is the back part of the campground. But anyway,
This is the very last loop in the campground, isn't it? Yeah.
we do have electric, and we have a lantern hook and a fire pit. That's pretty much what you get, and a picnic table. So you can see they're all pretty basic, and they're all pretty much the same, inner loop and outer loop. I imagine when the campground's full, it's pretty busy in here, and they are in here pretty tightly. You can see, like, here's 199, and then 197 is right here, and there's the picnic table for that one, and this one. You can see them all pretty much in the same shot, so you're pretty close to each other. But you are backed up to the forest, so you can create some privacy for yourself if you really wanted to. Anyhow, that was site 199, and you're out back here in the 200 area. You can see, all right, so in the inner loop, you can see your table's right there, and it kind of backs up to the site that's right there. Actually, there's 3 sites that you would be backed up to. But anyhow, again, the outer loop faces the forest, and it's a beautiful, beautiful forest. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's a trail. All right. So here's 207, and as you can see where you're supposed to pull in. Not much else to it. There's a picnic table, and then across the way this is 206 right here. They're grassy, great for tent camping. All right, and then across the street over here is a handicap spot, as well as there is one over here on the right. Those are paved, a little bit nicer, with electric boxes and close to the restroom. I think there's about 3 or 4 handicap spots back here, which are all paved out. So that makes it kind of nice if you have disabilities and you would need that kind of accommodation. So yeah, you can see right here, this is another one. Yeah. So, right. So the campground host site is right here, but no one's here right now. And you can see it's all graveled out. And we've noticed that the campground host sites are all graveled out, but the rest of them are not. So I guess they don't want to waste the money on it. And you can see back here, I mean, it's beautiful. Look at all the trees. You're shaded. It's gorgeous with all the trees, but you are pretty tightly put in. And they, again, loop around. It's like a loop. Inner and outer loop. So you can see. Okay. This is site 217 right here, which not a whole lot to it. I mean, you'd back it in and that's it. It hasn't been mowed for a bit, it looks like. I wouldn't be too happy with that.
They were mowing today when I got here. I
So
would imagine
maybe they just haven't gotten over here yet.
I would imagine something like this takes a while.
And this is site 218. Not too big. Not sure how you would pull in here. But there's a picnic table and a fire ring. And you're right here on this little turn. And site 205, I think. Again.
220.
Oh, 220, I'm sorry. It's just kind of, you just kind of pull in and find a place to park and set up. Oh, I guess right here is where you would do it. This is 221, so there's two here. 220 and 221. It's kind of odd. All right. So this is a really big campground. I think there's over 200 sites here. Here is the public restroom, and it looks like a laundromat is available in this particular restroom. The bathroom close to us does not have a laundromat.
Nice option.
Yep. Got a sink. Okay, this is the public restrooms. All right. Some potties back here. And it looks like a row of showers back here, 4 of them. And they're pretty basic. I mean, they're could use some updating. I see mold. It doesn't thrill me. I don't like that. But they do have public restrooms. Okay, now this particular loop is a bit nicer as far as space is concerned and a little bit more defined areas to camp in. Like this one over here is graveled out. E126. There is a water spigot right there, which is nice, and electric fire pit, and it's back up. There's the bathhouse right behind it. That would be the problem, is probably have people walking through it all the time. All right, so this might be, oh, okay, this is a nice site. Graveled out.
All hookups. All hookups. That's silver too.
Well, this must have been once a host site, because you don't see sewer hookups very much in state park campgrounds, but this one does have a sewer hookup, so it may have been a camp host site at one point in time. But that's a nice one, 127, just so you know. This is 128. And of course these are in the inner circle and kind of back up to other sites. And these on the outer loop are backed up to the woods. Again, the inner loop. This one has a bit of privacy, not quite so backed up. It's got some space over here to the left of it, so that's kind of nice. Okay, again, this is, I guess this is what the everything's marked E, so I'm guessing it's an E loop. We back up to the woods. These are nice sites over here. Yeah, 136. 135 or 6. Here. Yeah, it's a pretty good site backed up to the woods. And this one's not terrible. I'm kind of on the turn. E136, I don't know what that was. There you go, 137 and 138.
This would be good if you're camping with someone.
Yeah.
This is a really nice place right here.
Nice and big. You've got a lot of
Pretty
space back
level.
behind of it. Yeah, they're nice and level. Again, 137, 138. And then again, the inner loop. There you go. So these are not so bad. They're pretty big sites through here. All right, this is 143. This is pretty big. I mean, you've got all of this space, so it's pretty big. And some drinking water around the corner here. Alrighty. Then here's an inner loop. This is site 146, and you can see there's power box, but they do kind of back up to the sites across from them, so you do lose some privacy because of that. Back again on the E loop, 151. It's right here on the corner. And 50, right here on this corner next to the bathhouse.
171 through 188.
Okay, heard that. 171 through 188. It's a gravelled out road. And I don't see power boxes out here, so this might be on the outer loop, the outer part of the loop, but the inner part does have some power boxes. So I would say the outer part, the 170 area here, you would either have to run on batteries or whatever, solar power if you have that. Self-sustaining or tent camping. 174 over here. But again, as I said, the inner loop does have power boxes. And a quick trip over to the bathhouse over there. So this is 175. And 176. So like these on the outer loop that are tent camp type sites, they're pretty big. I mean, you have a lot of space. You just don't have any power or water or anything.
They're more rugged.
Yeah, a bit more rugged. I don't know how much cheaper they are. I don't think they're much cheaper than the power sites.
I think you said $4.
Yeah, $4 or $5 difference. So for us, it was like, we'll just get power. So if it was more significant than that, I'd probably opt for it. But anyway. All right, this site 181 is kind of cool.
Very good.
Yeah, it's huge. Look how big it is.
Hi. Come on up to...
Yeah. There's no power. It looks like you back up right to there. And then, yeah, you have like buku of tent spots. You could just party out here. All right. And 182. Not so much. A little bit smaller. $183 looks pretty significant. Back in, and you have quite a bit of space, and these all back up to the woods, so that makes it nice too when you have that privacy behind you. Alrighty, and we have site. What site number is this? See, and they're pretty basic. Back in. There's a little place to back in. Lots of space though. I mean, you have a lot of space. 188. Tons of space for multiple tents. And again, like I said, on the inner loop, you have electric hookups. And it looks to me like there is a handicap site right here around the corner. There's also a water spigot right here. This is in the 180s area. Okay, again, as I said, there are quite a few handicap sites that are paved. They're level, so much nicer for people with disabilities or who have difficulty with mobility. You can see there's quite a few of them here. There's about 6, maybe 5 or 6 of them back in here that I saw. All right, so anyhow, and this is extra car parking at the end of this road. Okay, so we are back on our loop, sites 189 to 208. And it's a gravel road. And again, as I said, the majority of these do have power, although I do see these two do not. This is 189, and these are sloped over here. 189, 191 is sloped. So if you don't mind that. 193, there's no power here. But the inner loop across is powered. There's power boxes. So again, another loop where part of it is not power and the other part has power. All right, so we're back at Fran, watching the squirrels chase each other. We are going to go look at sites 86 through 113, and no dogs allowed. Again, most of the campgrounds now have designated pet areas. Okay, this is actually a site right here. 86, kind of dips down in. And this looks like tent camping to me, maybe. Yeah. No electric. Kind of sits in the woods here a little bit. It's a huge site. Back in there. It's a big one. Site 90. Outer loop. There's outer and inner loop here. And it, again, all looks pretty much like tent camping. That's what most people over on this loop are doing in this area. So, and then there's a lot of woods on the right over here. These are sites 96. The ones over here on the left, not so much shade. Good for the winter, but not so good for the summer. All right. 101, 102, these back up to the woods. So, again, most of them are grassy. And again, there are a lot of, trails through here, and this one's a dog-friendly trail. It looks like it's called Corduroy Trail. Yeah, it's kind of nice that they have that. It's a nice when it sits back in. You have a lot of privacy here.
Lonnie's enjoying it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this loop's kind of this is, I would say, all tent camping through here. This is another nice site. Sits back in. Lots of privacy. Lots of space. So if you can do without power, those are some nice little sites to have. It's a lot of privacy. All right, yep. Over here to the right is another dump station. I don't know if they have two or not, or if I'm just... Anyway, it's a dump station over here on the right. And it's towards the entrance of the campground, the front part of the campground.
All right, next is sites 17 through 40.
These are the dog-friendly sites, pet-friendly sites. Cute, look at
And there's Ogie.
So these over here on the left, there's nothing over on the right here, but just over on the left. 18, that's a pretty good sized site. You have lots of space. 21, back up in underneath the trees. Those are kind of cool. See how they're all backed up inside the woods there? see electric. There's no power back in there though. Okay. Sorry, having to look through my window this morning. You can see the fog rolling in. Okay, and again, you can pick up some of the trails. There's the Ridge Trail right there, right from the campground, which makes it nice. Then you don't have to move anything.
This looks like a D or something. This is camping.
All right, so that is the entrance of the campground over there on the right. This looks like maybe some kind of a, they call it the ball field. They probably do different things there. All right. Now, let's see, we are getting ready to look at Site 27, which is actually pretty cool. It goes up in the woods. Again, these look like tent sites. Lots of woods around it. It's actually really cool. Yeah, this loop is it's pretty private back in here. Number 28. Number 30. And we have some deer romping around over here. How cute. Good morning, deer. Mm-hmm.
Looks like just pit toilets down here.
Yeah, so this is all tent camping, I would guess. There she is. Right here. A lot of woods and a lot of privacy on this little loop. Not a whole lot of sights, but tremendous amount of privacy. So if you like that. Right, again, there's the Ridge Trail. And this has an inner loop and an outer loop. And again, these are nice deep back end sites. I mean, you've got quite a bit of space. You're in the woods, a lot of privacy. That was site number
36. This is 36.
All right, this is 36, and there's two of them like this right next to each other. Two or three of them that have quite a bit of space. Even the inner loop ones are nice because there's no one backed up to you. It's a big field on the other side over there, so that's 38 on the left. So we're in the 30s, that's my point. All right, so this is 39. But yeah, you have a lot of privacy in these little loops. Little tent site loops. So, you know, these would work for us. We don't always need electricity. All right, site 60. This looks like a 62 right here. On the inside, they kind of back up to each other, so you have a lot less privacy, but you do have power. And then starts another loop where power boxes begin again.
This is the dog loop.
All right, this is the dog loop.
There's a pet trail.
They have pet trails over here. Water. They do have some water. 71, yep. These all have water and electric. They're not real big, but again, pet friendly. There's a bathhouse right here in the middle of the loop. There's not a whole lot of these sites that I can see. That one's not too bad. This is site number 75. A lot of space there. And you back up to the woods. Lots of space in this one. And it does have power. So that would be a nice site for the pet-friendly loop. So that concludes the campground tour here at Forest State Park Campground. Again, I think Shannon said it was called Ridge
I
Campground,
think it's called Ridge Campground.
but when I did the research online, it was just called Forest State Park Campground.
The only state park campground.
Right.
And
All right, so anyhow, hope that helps somebody out, and we hope to see you guys again soon.